I want to take a couple of minutes now just to show you how to use tables to work out questions about quantities that are in proportion. If quantities are in proportion, we say that they have a multiplicative relationship. That means we multiply and divide to work between them and find quantities that we want to work out. I'll give you a moment just to have a look at question 1. Okay, so there's actually 2 questions there, aren't there? Right, so these questions are about daffodils being sold in bunches of 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that out in a table. Now you might think, well, I know how to work these out, I don't need a table. But if we can find a method that works well for easier questions, then it's good for quantities which are a little bit harder to manage. So we've got bunches, and we've got daffodils, and they're the 2 things that are in proportion. So if we buy 1 bunch, we're told that many daffodils. And so how many daffodils in 8 bunches? Now we know 1 bunch gives us 7 daffodils. So 2 bunches, it's going to be twice as many daffodils. So we can say 2 bunches, we multiply by 7 to get to 14. Notice that we can also say if it's double the bunches, it's also double the amount of daffodils. Right, let's answer the question that we're being asked. What about 8 bunches? Well, we can use this multiplier, 8 times 7. If you know your tables. Or what we could have done, we could have said, right, to get from 1 to 8, we use the same multiplier to get from 7 to our answer. So that's our first answer. Second question. So it's 119 goes on the daffodil side. As I said, multiplicative relationships is about multiplying, but it's also about dividing. So we want to go back the opposite way. So we need to divide by 7. There's our answer. Let's look at another question. So again, it's another pair of quantities that are in proportion. It's the sachets and the number of grams. So let's draw a little table. Drawing a table doesn't need to take you very long. If you've got your ruler to hand, you can get it looking presentable as well. So, and we're looking at its mass. So each sachet is 25 grams. So we've got a multiplier there, times 25. So if we want to know the answer to the first one, the number of sachets goes in there, we're going in the same direction. So 275. What if we buy 1 kilo? 1 kilo, how many grams is that? That's right. This time we're working backwards. Forty sachets. Notice in part A here, we could have said times that by 11. multiplied that by 11 as well. Would have given us the same answer. Okay, third question. Just to give you a moment to read the question. So the top line is the important thing that we're aware of to start off with. So, and what we're interested in, the two quantities that are in proportion are the amount of pasta and the number of people. So we're told it's 880 for 4. First question, how much did James use? How many people is he making it for? It's 8 people. We could work out how do you get from 4 to 880, but it's not immediately obvious. Much easier to say double the number of people, double the amount of pasta, because it's in direct proportion. So there's our answer. I'm actually going to take question C next. How much would she use for 3 people? Now, let's go back to our original measures. We're comparing 4 to 880. We want to know how much for 3 people. And again, the multiplier is not immediately obvious. You might be able to work it out, but there will be numbers where you can't just work it out. So one way is to say, right, let's find out how much is it for one person. And again, we can go down the side. How do you get from 4 to 1? That's right, we can divide by 4. And then to get from 1 to 3, okay, and then we follow the same steps on the other side. There's our answer to C. How about B? So this time we're told the amount of pasta, but not the number of people. And again, working from the initial amount, we can use the same trick. We can say, right, on the pasta side this time, let's find out for 1 gram and then work up to 1100. How do you get from 880 to 1? That's right, you divide by 880 and then multiply by 1100. So we're going to do the same to the other side. So we've got 4 people, we're going to divide and then multiply. Divide and multiply. And that gives us an answer of 5.